Hey there Stampers, Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a card to do for my show and tell today. Now, have you ever gotten a catalog and you said, oh, I really love the way that card looks, I wish I could do that? Well, you can do that. It's called a casing, right? Copy and selectively edit. So we are going to case this catalog card from the cover of our Celebration brochure today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as you can see, I've cased it, and I'm going to show you how I did that and put it all together. But first, the two stamp sets that I used, okay, was the T Together. That's where I'm getting all these images for the flowers. Now that has a celebration item that coordinates for the framelits, the die cuts. So I've put those in my case. I always put a magnet in my case when there's framelits that go, and I put all my dies on there. So I've got the flowers that we're going to die cut for the cover. So that's a celebration item with a $50 order. And then I'm also using the new Strong and Beautiful stamp set. And I'm using the You Have What It Takes to Be Unstoppable and I Can't Be More Proud. But you could use any sentiment you wanted on the card, okay? So don't feel like you have to have that particular sentiment. Make it with whatever sentiment you want. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead and get started. So the paper that was used for this card is the Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper. That's a celebration item as well with a $50 order. Now I'm starting with just a plain Whisper White card base, and I've cut mine to open up down, but you could cut yours to open on the side if you prefer. So I've just creased that with my bone folder. Now here's the botanical paper. Alright, so this side is the stripe, and then I've got the Highland Heather piece there. So we're just going to put that down on the face of our card with some snail. So I'm just going to square this off with the fold of my card as best I can and run it across the top and down the edge. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Now see, I like that side too. You could make this card just all black and white if you wanted to, but we're not doing that today. So let's put this piece on. So I do the same thing. Now I cut my paper to overlap so that I wouldn't have a gap in the middle. So don't worry about cutting it exactly to size. Let them overlap. It's fine. Cut them the way it makes sense for you. Okay, now on the catalog cover they used ribbon to go down here, but I didn't have any ribbon, so I'm using a 1/2 inch piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to run that down like so. So there's the front of my card, right? Easy peasy. Now I've got a piece of Whisper White that I've already die cut with my stitched label framelits. So that's easy enough. And then I've got my sentiment that I'm using. And I'm bringing in my Highland Heather ink, so that coordinates with the color in the paper. And I can see through, so I can just stamp that on. Right, there's my tag all done. Close up. Oh, maybe I won't close up that ink. Okay, fingers don't want to work. We'll leave it open for now. Alright, so now we've got that. Now we've got to make all of our flowers, right? So I'm bringing in Memento because I'm going to color with my blends. So I need 2 of these larger roses. So I stamp them like that. Now leave them far enough apart so when you do your die cutting, you can get your multiple dies on there at once. Now I'm going to do 4 of these little pansy flowers. And I'm going to do 3 of the rosebuds. Now I am going to color them before I cut them out. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see me work with the blends, because I know it's been a while since I've done that. So let me just get this here and zoom my camera in, because I'll need to sit so I can really work with my pens. Alright, so all zoomed in. So I'm not going to do all of them here on video. I've done them and they're already die cut, but I'll show you how I colored them. So I'm starting with the centers of the pansies, and I'm just going to add Daffodil Delight, okay? And when you do yours, you can just go right around and do all the flowers the same with the one pen. You don't have to do each flower independently. Okay, so work in a group. Now I'm starting with my lighter Highland Heather blend, and I'm going to color the whole pansy with the light color. So since I'm doing big spaces, I'm using the brush tip, but if you're more comfortable with the pointer tip, the harder fine tip point, you use that one, because you're supposed to enjoy it. It's not supposed to cause you any stress. So we're just going to color these flowers, do each leaf. I kind of start with an outline and then I work in the center, but however you want to color them in, there you go. Okay, so there's one. Now I'm going to take the darker Highland Heather. This time I am going to use the pointer tip, and I just kind of came down like that, kind of make like a U shape. I went on each one. I just wanted there to be a little bit of variegated leaf, and I found that just kind of dotting around the edges and then to the center circle here, I got the effect I wanted. So that's how I did that. Then I'm using Granny Apple Green, because it's a nice bright green, and that's the color I used my half-inch stripe down the center. But whatever green you have that you want to use, you could substitute in. Okay, so I'm just going to color the leaf, and now that one's done. So now I'm just move on to this tiny one. So definitely use the tip for this one, and I'm not really coloring, I'm just kind of dotting the color into the space where I want it. See how I'm just dotting? So think about that when you're using your markers. Okay, so there's the green on that. Now for these, I'm using Calypso Coral. So I'm going to start with the light Calypso Coral, and I'm just coloring the whole flower. I'm doing my best to not overlap my colors and stay inside the lines. So take your time, it's not a race. You don't have to rush. Okay, so there's the small rose, and then I did the same idea. I took the darker Calypso Coral, I took the fine tip, and if you want to, just kind of add along the edges that they've already got in there on our image, and just add some shading. Okay, and then for the big rose, I start again with the lighter Calypso Coral. So I'm just going to color the whole flower in. Kind of work on my edge first. And go back and shade in your flower. You don't need to press hard, remember, you can be really light with the brush. Okay, so there's the light, and then the same idea with the harder end. I'm just going to come along. Now I just kind of traced all my lines to add the shading on the bigger rose, but if you want to just dot in a few areas, if you want to work with kind to create shadow, this is definitely the kind of image where you could practice your coloring techniques to see what you like best. But I've decided just to kind of trace the petals, because you know roses open up and they tend to be darker on the edges and lighter in the center, so that's kind of what I'm mimicking. Okay, and then I would do the same thing with the leaf, and I would color the leaf in with the Granny Apple Green. So let me zoom back out. So you would do that with all the different flowers, and I've done that already, and then I've die cut them on the Big Shot. So I've got 4 of the pansies, I've got 3 little rosebuds, and I've got the 2 big roses. Okay, so now we're going to add them to our card. So here's my pre-made sample, and here's the one we're working on right now. So first thing I did is I popped my expression up on dimensionals. Now, why did I do that? I do this a lot. I want to be able to tuck some flowers behind my die cut circle, and I want to be able to layer some over the top. So by putting this on first, I have that opportunity. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to take glue dots and I'm going to put them on the big roses. Now in the picture they were definitely layered behind the label. So I'm just going to add one here and another one down there. Make sure it's inside your card so that when you go to mail it you won't have trouble getting it in your card. Alright, now let's add these little rose buds. Okay, same idea. We're going to put them on glue dots. Okay, and they had one added up here, and they had one added over here on the side, so they kind of balanced them out. The glue dot did not stick on that. Let's try that again. Okay, and then they have one that's going to be down here, and we're going to fill that in with the purple pansies, so don't worry that those are spaced out. Now we're going to add the pansy. So one gets added here and they tuck it behind, and one gets added over here and they just kind of layer it down like that. Now there's two more, and we're going to pop those up on dimensionals. So we're going to give our card a little bit of pop. Okay, so this one is going to be down here. See how that all cascaded down together, and this one's going over here. There we go. Now, in addition to all that, they also used these fun gingham gala sequins, okay? Now in this one I did use the Calypso Coral kind of color. On this one I'm going to use the iridescent ones. So you can use whatever you want. Now I am going to add these just kind of around the space. You can put them where you want, and they're just going to pick up the color, and there's that. Alright, so really wasn't that hard, right? You had to spend some time coloring. Oh, I know, we all enjoy coloring, so, you know, that's not really a hard thing. You had to do some die cutting. That's simple with our big shots. And you had to put together some paper. So it's really a simple card. It's very elegant. It's got a lot of layers and dimensions to it. You could add any sentiment you wanted to it, so you could use it for lots of occasions. And look, we made it right off the cover of the catalog. So when you see a catalog card, don't let it scare you. Go ahead, case it, you know, use what you have, put it together, follow the design, and you'll be good to go. Alright everybody, so that's the show and tell for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Here's my February host code. Remember, you can shop online with me. It'd be greatly appreciated to have some online orders to support my crafting habit here, and so I can keep sharing with all of you. And you'll be entered into my end of month drawing for some free shipping on your next order. So that's always fun to get free anything, but free shipping is always good. And come on over to pumpkinhillstampers.com and check out the blog. I post almost every day of the week, the working day of the week, so Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends. And I'm sharing more fun projects over there too. So come on over and join the club. Alright everybody, thanks so much, and comments below or comments on the blog are great, and I'll see you again in a couple of days. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.